In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I would do if I had to make my first $1,000 in business starting from scratch. The world feels chaotic right now. People are struggling. Money feels tight for a lot of families. The world is on fire. But the thing that people forget is that people don't stop spending money in tight times. They stop spending money on the things that they do not need. So if you're trying to start a business right now, the first thing is don't panic. You can start a business right now. You can make money. But the answer to that panic that's rising is that you need to offer something that actually solves a real problem so that people are spending money on things they know they need. So, by the way, if you like practical business building advice from a multi passionate Virgo with anti people pleasing energy, 3 feral children, and zero patience for bullshit, please hit subscribe. You're probably going to like it here. Okay. So, if I had to start my business over today, knowing everything that I know now and using the skills I already have, this is exactly what I would do. I would do it faster, simpler, and with way less tolerance for nonsense than I did in the first 5 years. And before I get into the specifics, this is the mindset that I would anchor into. I would anchor into the mindset, start messy, talk to people, and sell sooner than it feels comfortable. Let the business get clearer because you are moving, not because you are waiting. All right, here's exactly what I would do. First, I would pick one clear offer and stop entertaining every idea that popped into my head. Not 5 services, not everything that I am capable of doing. I would pick one thing that I could sell immediately, something that's service based, paid, and actually useful right now. I wouldn't have a long brand building phase, and I would not hide behind my prep work. I would decide and I would move. The second thing I would do, that was a one. Second thing I would do is I would start talking to real people immediately. I wouldn't be building an audience for months or waiting for the perfect content. If I want money now, if I want to start my business now, I would immediately start talking to real people, having actual conversations, DMing people, not in a sleazy, like, oh, buy my stuff DMs, but like actually having real conversations with people. And you know what's real versus what's fake. You can feel it in your soul. I would have coffee chats. I would be in networking rooms, local connections, because clarity comes from interaction, not planning, right? You can write all these things down. You can plan everything out. You can use AI to give you a fancy schmancy plan, but that real clarity is not going to come until you actually start moving forward. So I would lean into that hard, talking to people. The third thing I would do is I would show my face early and often, videos, stories, posts that clearly say what I do and who I help. I wouldn't wait until I felt polished or confident to do it. I would let it be awkward and honest and human because nobody gives a damn about you as much as you think they do. You can be awkward, you can be yourself, and the judgments from other people are more about them than they are about you. So when they say bullshit to you, just let it rub right off of you because they're not your paying customer. They're not going to buy your offer. So their opinion doesn't matter. That's what's going to build trust. The fourth thing that I would do is I would price myself higher than I did the first time around. You are worth it. I would stop undercharging just to feel safe. If someone reaches out to me, I would give them what I usually did. I usually do. I start with the price and then I add like $100 to it because I know I'm already undercharging. So I would stop pricing from a place of insecurity because if they say no, someone else will say yes. I would charge based on impact, not on the fear And I would trust that the right people will pay when they understand the value. Some people are going to be like, oh, that's expensive. Some people are going to be like, wow, that's a steal. You never know because the value of what you have to offer is dependent on what that person puts a value on it. And what I would actually do is I would aim for an offer that's around $250. Because when you're doing the math, that means that you only need four yeses to make your first $1,000. Four people. Now remember, we got to build in tax and expenses and all that jazz. So coming up with an offer that's $250, four yeses, it's going to get you $1,000, but keep other things in mind. Don't stress about it. I got you. But with this idea, it means you don't need 40 clients. You don't need a viral post. We're not influencers, we're business owners. We don't need a massive audience. We just need four people who need what you already know how to help with. And that shift alone will change how doable this feels. Fifth thing I would do is that I would build visibility around my real life. So, my kids, my schedule, my energy. So when it comes to my kids, I don't really post like their faces on the internet. Couple times I've done it in a blue moon, like when I adopted them and things like that. But I mostly keep them off the internet because they're not old enough to make the decisions for them to be all over. So I keep it mostly private with that. But there are ways to build visibility around your real life. You're going out with your kids somewhere, take a reel while you're there. You're going to explore a space with your kids, take some pictures while you're there. Like you can build visibility around your kids and your life without actually showing your kids. Then, or you can show your kids. I mean, it's your choice. I don't care. The thing with my schedule, so I don't function well before 10 a.m. I just don't. Like I can be up and doing things with the kids, but 10 a.m. is the earliest I generally will have meetings. And then I have to stop working around 4:30 in order to pick up my kids. And then I'll fit things in where I can while dinner's cooking. Sometimes my husband's cooking it so I can work a little longer, or I'm cooking it, or the kids really need more time with me, so we adjust. But I fit my schedule around me. So that building visibility around my real life, my kids, my schedule, and my energy, knowing myself and understanding what I need, that's what I would do. I would design a business that fits me instead of trying to become someone else to make this business work. A lot of people will be like, well, you have to be up at 5 a.m. You have to do this, 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 this. I don't want to feel like I'm stuck in this box, forced to be somebody else. So I would design a business that fits me. I'm not, what's the phrase? A business that works for me, not the other way around, right? I don't want to work for the business. I want the business to work for me. So that would be what I would do. Six, I would ignore most marketing advice. And now this is coming from a marketing person, right? I run a marketing agency, a small boutique one where there's just a couple of us. Slash, I'm your marketing director for hire, right? So I would ignore most marketing advice because a lot of it out in this chaos of noise is performative tactics, right? It's TikTok dances, it's tricking people into commenting by giving them a word problem that they won't be able to solve. And those are all wastes of time, right? If you like them, do them, but they are performative. We're building trust. We're not just adding noise to add noise. So I would stick with talking head style reels or like B-roll reels with some simple information on them, showing your authority and your knowledge. I would skip fancy funnels before proof. You know, a lot of marketing advice is have a funnel, funnel, funnel. And yes, you need a basic funnel, right? This funnel could be, hey, apply here, an email gets sent to them, and then you have a coffee chat with them. There are funnels like that, but I would skip the fancy funnels before you have any proof that your idea will make you money. So in the beginning, you don't need a crazy funnel. Yes, have some type of funnel where you can know where the path is, right? But you don't need it to be super bougie and like all these timers and blah, 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 blah. That's not necessary. Funnels are their own beast, right? So if you want help with it, yeah, I can help you with it, but we're skipping. We're trying to make our first $1,000, so we don't need those fancy schmancy funnels. Okay. And I would skip anything that asks me to perform instead of connect. I don't want to pretend to be someone that I'm not. I want to be honest. I want to be me. I want to focus on momentum over strategy. So keep moving forward, putting the cart before the horse. It's totally fine. We're trying to figure out what we want to do. And I would focus on consistency over perfection. So showing up in whatever way you want to on a consistent basis, being you consistently, being authentic. That's what I would focus on, momentum and consistency. Okay, that was all a lot under six. Did I even say six? Yeah, I did. Okay. Ignoring most marketing advice. I kind of forgot what I was saying. All right. So then with 7, the 7th thing I would do is I would track what works and then I would double down instead of constantly pivoting. So, one offer, one message, one direction, long enough to actually see results. What does this mean? What does it mean to do this? I would say you need to check in every 30 days. So, we're coming up with a plan. We're showing up. We're talking about this offer. We have the messaging. We have the direction. We're being consistent. We're making momentum happen. And then we're going to check in every 30 days, but I don't want you to pivot completely for at least 60 days. 60 days of consistency. The reason I say this is because we have no data to go off of. And I want to stick with one offer, one message, one direction for at least 6 months. That sounds like a long time. At least 6 months, one offer, one message, one direction. I know there are different rules for this, but we're trying to make our first $1,000, right? So one offer, one direction, be very strategic is the word I want to use, but very consistent with it. Keep that momentum going. So those are my 7 tips, my 7 things that I would do. So those are my 7 things. I'm going to go through them really quickly again, just to have it all in one place. First thing is I would pick a clear offer and stop entertaining every idea that popped into my head. Second thing I would do, I would start talking to real people immediately. Third thing, I would show my face early and often. Fourth thing, I would price myself higher than I did the first time around. Fifth thing I would do, I would build visibility around my real life. Sixth, I would ignore most marketing advice. Yes, I would. And seventh, I would track what works and double down instead of constantly pivoting. So those are the 7 things that I would do if I wanted to make my $1,000 in my business as quickly as possible. And honestly, I would probably rebuild, not probably, I would rebuild around the same framework that I'm using now. So it's taken me 5 years to get here, but simple actions, daily momentum, real conversations, and selling without apology. That's my framework. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I would do if I was starting from scratch all over again. We don't have a magic wand to start from scratch. Everybody knows that that doesn't exist. I mean, maybe there's like some secret stuff in back. Don't get me started on that. But that is the approach. That's how I think, and is exactly how I would start again from scratch. Simple actions, daily momentum, real conversations, selling without apology. Now, most of you already have an idea of what you could sell, but you might not trust that enough right now. So, I wanted to give you something extra practical here. I wanted to give you a list to not just give you tips and tricks, whatever, but I wanted to give you a actual list. And this list that I'm about to give you is not to give you brand new ideas because I'm sure you already have your own ideas, but it's really to show you what already counts. So, in an effort to help you see that more clearly, here are the 10 things that you could do and charge money for based on skills that you probably already have. Because I'm guessing you're not in this YouTube video just out of chance. You probably were Googling it and you got to me because there's not a lot of women who are talking about this stuff on YouTube. So, here we are. So as you listen, I want you to notice which ones sound familiar. And if it does, that's usually the one that you're meant to start with. So write it down, put it in your notes on your phone, whatever. So these are all $250 offers, loosely. because that's what I would aim for, right? You want to sell 4 of these to make your first $1,000. Okay. So, one possible offer is a one-page action plan. This could include a focused call or an intake form. Honestly, I would do a call, a written step-by-step plan delivered as a PDF or a Google Doc with clear priorities, exact next actions, and a suggested timeline. No fluff or bull crap in there. Just do this next. Another option is a website or a page clarity audit. So a lot of times people need a review of their website, their landing page, because they see they're too close to it, right? So they need somebody who's maybe good at seeing holes and seeing different things. So this could be a review of a one page or a site with written feedback on messaging, structure, and CTAs. It could have a prioritized list of fixes and copy suggestions and an optional Loom walkthrough explaining those changes. The third option here is an Instagram or a social profile cleanup. So this could be a rewrite of their bio with a clear value statement, however you want to make that sound. Highlight structure and naming suggestions, a CTA with recommendations, CTA is call to action, a short checklist of what to post next. You could even offer highlight tip covers, like you could design them for them. So there's a few different options here with that for 250. Another thing is 30 days of content ideas. So this could be you actually hop on a call with them and you see what they actually want to talk about, what their business is about. Then you create 30 post prompts that are tied to their actual offer and their actual voice and their actual branding with hooks and content angles, suggested CTAs organized in a simple content calendar so that they could see it. People love that kind of stuff. You could also offer an offer clarity document. So this is one clear offer defined. So they have an idea and you take it and you define it. Who is it for? What's the problem it solves? The outcome, some suggested pricing and positioning, suggested pricing and positioning, language that they can reuse on their site and their social media. So all of it in one clear place. You could offer a sales DM or email script pack. So a lot of people feel uncomfortable when they're not prepared for questions that they might get in a DM. So you could help them by putting together initial outreach messages. So something that's warm and inviting and human. Maybe they feel more comfortable with it. Some follow up scripts, some objection responses or frequently asked question responses, closing language that feels natural, not salesy. So you could help create this for them, very strategically theirs and not just somebody else's, not just a quick fake whatever. It's their voice, it's for them. Another thing you can do is create a Canva template pack. So this could be 10, 15 reusable templates, posts, stories, flyers, customized to their brand with their fonts and their colors and their spacing so that it's set up for easy reuse. So it would have their fonts and their colors and with spacing that's set up for easy reuse. So simple instructions for editing because not everybody's good at Canva. So having that as an option. Another thing, and this is a long list. I didn't think about it when I wrote it. So this is number 8. You can have an FAQ, an objection response sheet. So that kind of goes back to the DMs as well. But this is 10 to 15 common questions and objections that are written out with clear, confident responses that they can reuse. That's designed for DMs or emails or sales calls or on their website. It can help really shorten some of their sales processes. And if they have salespeople, that they have multiple people on their team and maybe they need it to be consistent along the whole thing, this could be helpful for them. Another thing that you could help with is a client onboarding setup. So, a welcome email, intake questions or a form outline, clear process and expectations document, make them look more professional instantly when they're onboarding clients. So, maybe they have a marketing agency like I do, or they are a graphic designer, or even they make custom jewelry or something like that for people, having an onboarding setup sequence that's there would be helpful and make them look instantly higher level than everybody else. Another thing, and this is the last one on my list, is that you can create a focus and prioritization plan. So maybe they have a lot of tasks going on and they're just overwhelmed. So you can review their current ideas, their tasks, their offers, and do a do now, do later, don't do list. So making sure they know exactly what to do. It helps to remove any overwhelm and decision fatigue so they can just be like, this is what I need to do. Blah, 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 blah. Make it clear. And it just could be super helpful for someone who has way too much to do on their list and needs some help with exactly what to do and when to do it. Some people like that. When we were kids, we were ready to be adults, be like, I can't wait to be an adult and make all the decisions for myself. And now that we're adults, we're like, I can't wait for someone else to tell me exactly what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. So I don't have to think about it. Okay. So I know I just made this list for you, gave you probably some ideas to think about, some offers. And I know that you might be thinking, because I was thinking this too, is can't AI do all of this for them? And I mean, yes, AI can help generate ideas. It is a tool that we can use. It's a good tool, depending on who you talk to. If you don't use the tool, you are going to be left behind. So there are some nuances with it, but most people are really not stuck because they lack ideas, right? Especially entrepreneurs, multi-passionate women entrepreneurs who have a lot of ideas, creatives, visionaries. We don't need help with the ideas. What we're stuck in is that we can't decide. So what people really want is a human to look at their situation and say, this is what matters, start here. And that is what they're paying for. They're not paying for AI ideas, they're paying for the human behind it. Because if AI made human support irrelevant, therapists, consultants, lawyers, doctors, they would all already be out of work. But information is not the problem, direction is, and that is why these offers still matter. That's why you can still charge money for them. Now, if you want help figuring out which of these makes the most sense for you, or you want some support actually turning this into your first $1,000, please make sure to check out the description. Everything's linked in there. If you don't know exactly what you want, but you want to work with me, you want to talk to me, please reach out. I am a human being and I'm not too famous yet to talk to you. So please reach out, comment, whatever. Everything's linked in the description under the workwithdevin.com. It's all the things there. But if you really want hands-on one-on-one support, meet with me 4 times in a month in 30 days, we get shit done. That is in there and it's one-on-one support, one-on-one mentorship with me, and I co-create everything with you. Listen though, there's no pressure. These are just options. I would love to work with you if you want it. And that's it. Hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.